Okay, so I know I'm gonna get asked the question. So to stave off any kind of rumors or talk or discussion in the comments, I'm just gonna set the record straight. I am not a furry. Find no appeal in it whatsoever. Not a furry. Not at all. You do what you want, but I'm not a furry. Not at all. don't don't let me in, please. Just no. Do the intro already. Yeah, son, welcome back to Magus Reviews, and in a brand new segment I'm calling Forgotten Fighters, where I'm going to look back at fighting game franchises and individual games lost to the annals of time in this beloved market of video games. I am your host, the Mighty Blue Magus, and we're going to take a look at one of my personal favorite fighting games of all time, Bloody Roar. I cannot tell you how much I love this game and how much I love this franchise. I'm sad to see it gone and likely never to come back. Wait, what's this? Konami recently renewed the trademark for Bloody Roar? Interesting. Now, I'm not gonna get my hopes up too high. Konami wasn't the original maker of Bloody Roar, after all. This was a Hudson Soft brainchild, and just got purchased when Hudson went under. Nah, they were trying to do their own fighting game franchise by releasing crap like Deadly Arts on the N64. Topic for another day. Now, I won't lie, in comparison to modern fighters today, this one took some getting used to. It's really stiff feeling at first, and it did cause some problems while I was playing it for the first time in several years. That being said, I feel like this is a great control scheme because once I got used to it, I was able to adapt my strategies and playstyles very quickly. Now, I can't quite put my finger on it, but it just clicked with me really fast. And yeah, okay, I played this game when I was a kid, but I was a dumb little babby who didn't know what a combo was and then got mad when Kazuya beat me in Tekken 2 all the time. Your purple suit looks stupid, you Vegeta Ryu wannabe! I say this because usually there's always a learning curve from going from modern games back to the classics, and this did take some learning, but it wasn't like it was difficult. It just came naturally the more I played with it, and I was able to figure out all the character's strengths and weaknesses pretty fast. Combos are pretty easy to pull off, but it does feel like nothing is safe. Combo hitters tend to whiff, and that's for better or for worse. You'll start your attack chain, but your opponent can, and likely will, start blocking so your last hit doesn't really connect. And this does have the added benefit of it being applied to you, as well as a combo-heavy characters like Bakuryu and Alice are definitely smart to play defensively against, so it's not like you make one single mistake and boom, you're being juggled into a 15 to 20 hit combo. Now, it might be annoying at first since you get that combo finisher satisfaction extremely rarely, but it also has the benefit of keeping the fight very strategic and almost always standing. And in fact, one thing I hate about a lot of fighters even today is if you get knocked down, I just want to get back up and continue the fight. So a game where that rarely happens is a lot of fun to me. But honestly, even if the combo system sucked, there's one big saving grace. So let's talk about the Beast Drive, which is the most innovative thing in this game. Every character has a meter that they have to build up, and then they can turn into an animal-monster hybrid creature. We call them furries today, and don't send me Rule 34 of anybody on this roster. I'm not joking, don't do it. Now hey, I'm not a furry, but I love this system. Not only does your Beast Drive give you access to more moves, but it also slowly regenerates your health if you take damage. Now, it's not like it regenerates all of your health just by going into Beast Drive. There's a set amount you can recover if you get hit, go into Beast Drive, then just hang back and control the pace of the match while you recover. It's actually a really smart system that could have been gimmicky and easy to exploit, but I'm amazed at just how well balanced it is. You could be close to death, but you've been saving up your beast drive. You turn it on, and then that saves you from dying. And it also punishes your opponent because by going into a beast drive when they're near you, it hits them with a very powerful knockback. Now there is a downside. Though your beast drive does give you the added advantages, you can only take so many hits before you get knocked back into your base form, and you have to build your drive back up from 0 or else you're at a severe disadvantage again. You can build your drive back by either taking damage or giving damage, so there's a nice little ebb and flow here. Plenty of opportunities for comebacks, as well as rewarding dominant players. Also, there's more, and I think King of Fighters may have gotten the idea for its max mode from Bloody Roar, because you have an optional mode that makes you glow yellow called a Beast Rave, which slowly drains your beast drive, but it makes you move faster and hit harder. This does allow for faster paced matches and more dominant playstyles being rewarded with a little added risk to it. There's so much going on with this system that I can talk about it forever. I love it. It's so smart, so complex, but extremely easy to pick up and master. This is a work of pure genius. I don't think I've ever been this positive about a system in use in a video game. I mean, what could just be a gimmick makes the game strategic, complicated, but at the same time also accessible, fun, intuitive, and deep. It's everything I love about fighting games. Now, I suppose there are some downsides to Bloody Roar, and a couple of nitpicks I have is this. There's no move list in the pause menu. There isn't even a move list in the practice mode, and since my copy is digital, I had to go online to get a command list. I mean, it's not that big of a deal, but in 1998, can you imagine renting this game from a video game store? Yeah, that was a thing in 98. And taking it home and not having the manual with it, you would have no idea how to do any of these combos or special moves at all, not without mashing buttons and hoping for the best. Also, you can't skip past endings and credits whenever you beat a character's arcade mode, and these things last for quite a while. So long, in fact, it gives me just enough time to talk about our sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends. Had you going for a second, didn't I? I'm not big enough to get sponsors. But okay, let's get into the characters, and I do want to give them all a bit of time in the spotlight. My personal favorite is Hugo the Wolf. He's like a mix between Terry Bogard, John Tallbane, and Squall Leonhardt. Also, he's the first guy I wanted to get good with as a kid, and okay, maybe I bear a passing resemblance to him. I have one of those looks, okay? It makes me look like a lot of characters in Japanese fiction. You know, like Hugo, Kyo Kusanagi is one I get a lot. Squall Leonhardt if I drew an X on my forehead, Albert when my hair is longer, just to name a few. So I'm biased. I mean, it helps that Hugo is the main character of the game as well as the series protagonist, so starting off with him is appropriate. Hugo is the son of a mercenary named Yuji, whom apparently died at war. The circumstances of his father's death doesn't sit well with Hugo, and he learns that his father was a zoanthrope, which is a person who can turn himself into the aforementioned man-beast hybrid combination. Hugo inherits that power from his father and goes hunting to find out what happened to him. This leads him to a multinational corporation called Tyron. He embarks upon this journey with his dad's old war buddy, a big mofo named Gato, who's a lion zoanthrope. There aren't any dialogue options before and after fights, so story progression is, hey, pick a character, and then beat everyone else, and then face the final boss. Now, the final boss of the game is this girl, Yuriko, who is a genetic experiment by Tyron. In the fight against her, she starts off as a little girl, becomes a green-haired adult woman. Okay. And when you drop her health low enough, she turns into... Oh, know what that is. Her final form reminds me a lot of True Ogre from Tekken 3. And she's pretty nasty, but it's not like she's unbeatable. She's also the only non-playable character in the game, so, you know, just beat the crap out of a 9-year-old. In Yugo's ending, it was revealed that his father has been killed by Tyron, and like the anime protagonist he almost is, he vows to never let the battle stop. In the arms of the angel. Since I mentioned Gato already, we'll talk about him. Dude loves to fight and wages war on Tyron to avenge his fallen friend. In his ending, he just straight up blows up the building, gets arrested, but he gets let go because it turns out they were doing shady stuff, so hey, there you go. Terrorism is okay, apparently. We also have Alice, who is a bunny girl, and the eventual love interest of Hugo. I guess the wolf feeding the rabbit has two meanings now. Seriously, you send me Rule 34, I break into your home and then break everything you own. Test me. And I will say that she's actually one of the best characters to play in the game. She's fast, has a lot of combo options, agile, and is a lot of fun to use. Her story is that she's friends with Yugo, but was kidnapped by Tyron and genetically altered into being a zoanthrope. She escaped with the help of Yuriko's mom, Mitsuko, but wasn't able to save Yuriko herself. Mitsuko later adopts Alice and raises her as her foster daughter. Going to another character, you know what's weird? Series mainstay Long the Tiger is actually really disconnected from the story. He was an assassin for Tyron, but he is experimented on and cuts ties to the organizations because he hates it. He's then branded as a traitor, and then he secludes himself in a cave because he hates what he's become. Hey, I get it. If I was forced into being a furry, I'd go into a cave and you'd never see me again either. So I get it, but I just wish you had more to do with the other cast of characters in this game. He doesn't even interact with Bakuryu or Hans the Fox when they're both assassins who work for Tyron as well. But speaking of Bakuryu, I think he actually has the worst ending. He's another assassin, and how many of these guys are there, who works for Tyron, and his goal is to be the strongest zoanthrope of all time. And the constant genetic experimentation on him eventually leads him to dissolve into a pile of goop. Which is alright by me. He looks like Heihachi Mishima got stung on the nose by a wasp. I don't know why I keep referencing Tekken in this. Bloody Roar actually has a good story. We also have Greg the Gorilla, who is also relatively unattached to everything. But he does interact with Yugo in the story, so there's that. But his only shtick is that he wants to save his failing circus. He asks Yugo to be the star attraction. Yugo asks, buddy, why don't you do it? He agrees, and that's the last we ever see of him in this franchise. Why is Greg a zoanthrope? Never explained. I mean, he at least has a unique design, one with him being a strongman gorilla dude with a top hat. So there's that. Hey, you want to know a really weird rumor? Now, apparently, whenever the character G was being teased in Street Fighter V, some people thought that it was going to be Greg the Gorilla from Bloody Roar being in Street Fighter V. Because they both have beards and wear top hats. Even though this game is owned by Konami and not Capcom, but rumors are weird. Now, I've saved my least two favorites for last. I mentioned her before, but let's move on to Mitsuko the Boar. Now, most characters in this game have pretty good designs. I'm always a fan of the stylish street clothes look, especially for fighting games and anime. So, Yugo's sleeveless hooded vest is cool. I have one. Gato's weird leather belt thing is fine, Alice is a cute design, and even Greg has the added benefit of being unique looking. Mitsuko the Boar looks like a Tumblr refugee, and her design is really unappealing. Now, I'm not saying she has to be sexy or attractive to be in a fighting game, but this is just a bit too black. Hey, let's make the ugly mom character a big ugly boar with boar boobs! Even though boars don't have boobs. They have teats. They have teats, not tits. You weirdo? Other than, you know, that bit of grossness, I really don't think she has a good design. I mean, it's dull, uninspired, and I'd go as far as to call it boring. I suppose for one bit of positivity I can put on her, it's that her ending is actually quite nice. She just is happy to have rescued her daughter, she adopts Alice, and, well, like Greg, she's never seen in Bloody Roar as playable ever again. Okay, so I'm probably gonna get some crap for this one, but it's my video and I don't care at this point, okay? So, I think Mitsuko is a very uninspired character, and Greg is weird, doesn't really fit all that well, but at least he has the added benefit of being unique. But nobody earns the medal for worst character in Bloody Roar than Hans the Fox. Hans may be voiced by a woman, but this is a guy. He is a fox zoanthrope, and he oh so cleverly goes by the name Fox. The fox dude is a fox? No! And here I thought the fox dude was gonna be a capybara or a chinchilla or something. But a fox? Named Fox? That's clever. He's an effeminate male assassin who's completely psychotic and obsessed with beauty. Oops. Sorry, I don't know how that picture of Vega got in here. Let me try again. He's an effeminate male assassin who's completely psychotic and obsessed with beauty. Nailed it. Yeah, if you can't tell, I don't like Hans the Fox because he's a giant ripoff and not even a clever one. Sure, Greg is stupid and disconnected from everything, but at least he's original. Mitsuko might be boring. No, you can't do 2 rim shots for the same pun. It's against the rules. Mitsuko might be dull, but at least her ending is kind of sweet and she has a likable personality. Hans is just Vega in a fursuit. Screw this guy! And they tried really hard to make him a rival to Yugo, but it just didn't work. He appears nowhere in anyone else's ending. And I'm glad that we never saw this guy in Bloody Roar again, because the team behind this game can make original characters, as this game and later entries proved. So that's really about it. For the very, very few things that Bloody Roar does wrong, it's still great. It's not just playable, it's fantastic. It's fantastic by any fighting game standard of any year, and one of my personal favorites. So dear Konami, since you renewed the trademark, do something with it. Bring back Bloody Roar! Huh? What? Oh. No, I really don't know how to end this. Hey, cultist! Do some wacky duck stuff. Thank you. Hey, are you a zoanthrope? Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked what you saw, then please give me a like at the bottom, comment if you want, subscribe, and share the video with your friends to help my channel grow. Maybe even go that extra mile and donate to my Patreon. It's all up to you, whatever you want to do. The most important part is that I was entertaining to you. I'm not a furry. Seriously. I'm not even kidding. Don't send me Rule 34 of this. I'm not, this is not a joke. Not a joke. I will hunt you down. I will hunt you down.